Welcome to Anafram Market Perspectives.
Anafram Market Perspectives, Friday Market Recap, Tariffs, Tech Turmoil and VIX. What this chaotic week tells us about what's next. Friday, April 18th, 2025 Good Friday Holiday Edition. Welcome back to Anafram Market Perspectives. It's Friday, and while markets are closed across North America and Europe, the week was quiet. From new trade war headlines to shaky earnings and a surprise rebound in China, let's break down the 5 key stories shaping markets and what they signal going forward. S&P 500 Weekly Recap. Tech under pressure. Defensive shine markets opened strong but struggled midweek. The S&P 500 ended barely positive, the Nasdaq slipped slightly, and the Dow dropped over 1%. The Russell 2000 gained nearly a full percent, surprising to the upside. The VIX dropped 9%, but it's still elevated above spring levels. Top performers. Eli Lilly soared over 16% on positive pipeline news. Philip Morris gained nearly 8% as defensive stocks outperformed. ExxonMobil climbed 7%, lifted by rising oil prices. Biggest declines. UnitedHealth fell 24% after a weak earnings report. Meta dropped 8% on renewed EU regulation concerns. Nvidia sank over 5% following a new export ban. Tariffs heat up. Trade war turns economic Cold War tensions escalated. The EU barred Nvidia from exporting its H20 AI chip to China, and the company expects a $5.5 quarterly impact. China responded by halting Boeing orders and banning aviation parts. Trump hinted at auto part exemptions, but details are vague. Canada granted temporary relief on car imports but imposed new tariffs and launched a $2 billion auto supply chain initiative. Meanwhile, the EU announced a 21% tariff on Mexican tomatoes, risking supply chain disruption. Harvard refused federal funding conditions tied to diversity, fueling another policy standoff. To stay ahead, Nvidia announced a $500 billion plan to build AI infrastructure in the EU, supported by Foxconn and Wistron. Bottom line, this is no longer about tariffs. It's a full-blown economic standoff. Economic recap. China surges. Sends mixed signals. China surprised to the upside. Q1 GDP rose 5%, driven by early exports and subsidies. Exports jumped 12%, and industrial production climbed nearly 8%. Unemployment edged down to 5.2% in the EU. Consumer spending looked solid. Retail sales rose 1.4% in March, but industrial production shrank by 0.3%. The Empire Manufacturing Index improved slightly, but stayed negative. The Atlanta Fed GDP Now forecast held at -2% for Q1 across the Atlantic. UK inflation cooled to 2.6%, increasing expectations for a May rate cut. The ECB kept rates steady but flagged slowing inflation takeaway. China is accelerating, but EU and European data point to growing strain. Volatility watch. VIX retreats, but risks remain. The VIX fell to 29.65 after peaking near 35 earlier this month. Still, it's double the calm levels seen in March. Fed Chair Jerome Powell warned that policy uncertainty is weighing on business and consumer sentiment. Don't expect a smooth ride, especially as earnings season ramps up. Bonus section. ETF and stock picks recap. ETF hedge. VIX short-term futures closed near 71. Still in the Ichimoku cloud, but losing momentum. MACD is flattening. With CPI out of the way, we're trimming exposure here. Netflix closed just under 975. Bounced off the cloud but lacks momentum. Earnings met expectations, but cautious margin guidance kept enthusiasm low. Neutral outlook. Wait for confirmation. UnitedHealth closed at 454, down sharply. Broke below the cloud, and MACD is deep in bearish territory. Missed on earnings and issued weak guidance. Still a defensive name but high short-term risk. Apple closed near 197, approaching the edge of the cloud with bullish MACD crossover. Investors are rotating back into quality, but risks tied to China remain. Final takeaways. The tariff fight is no longer noise. It's hitting key sectors from semiconductors to autos and agriculture. Nvidia's fall highlights how fragile even the strongest tech names can be. Economic data remains a mixed bag. Retail is holding up, but production is cracking. China surprised, but growth in the West continues to look fragile. The VIX eased, but markets are still sensitive. Earnings season is heating up, and the next few weeks could set the tone for the rest of the quarter. We'll see you Monday for the next pre-market preview. Until then, stay informed, stay strategic.
Powered by Anafram Consulting.
Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, hit subscribe and share this with others. See you next time on Anafram Market Perspectives.